wouldn't go that. Hey, puppy. How are you this morning, puppy? You're shedding your hair. Look at you. Look at you shedding everywhere. Oh. Well, I didn't get much sleep last night. I feel like death warmed up. So, time for coffee and yeah, get the day started. It's a bit of a rough night, but this coffee is going to help to get me going. Story goes that we just got back last night before last, and long haul flight from South Africa back to Australia. It was end up being about 24 hours of travel, and yeah, let's just say my little boy Judd, he hasn't adjusted yet, so he's still he sleeps all over the place at night and just been keeping my wife and I awake. So, but what you have to do, I got to shoot tomorrow, getting right back into it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And doing some stuff in the office today, so why don't you follow along and check out my day. Sugar. Feels so much better. Showered, yeah, feeling a lot lighter, still pretty tired. Coffee was good, but yeah, now I'm ready to get into my day. But before I do, I'm gonna do one more thing here, just quickly tidy up the bed, which I don't often do. But guys, it's a good thing to do, so I'm gonna do that. One more thing I'll show you here, quickly check this out. This is my situation here. So whenever I travel, this is the roller I take with, but it's always sitting here for a number of days after we get home. It's such a vibe kill to unpack, but I'm gonna do that later today, so that situation will be not there anymore later today. So, all right, cool. Let's head out to the office. So here I am, guys, finally at my desk working, and yeah, just get some emails out. It's always funny running your own business and coming back into it after a bit of a break. While I was away in South Africa, you would have seen some of the stuff I did. I also pitched for some work while I was there, in South Africa, in Cape Town, and none of that came off, but I really needed the break that I had anyway, so it all worked out in the end for the best. Yes, everyone, as the title suggests, I work out of my garage, and it's quite a nice space. We set it up after our son was born, and basically I love it here. It's a space where it's sort of out of the way of the rest of the house. It's got a laundry on one end of it, so sometimes there'll be washing and stuff going on there, but then I just use a pair of headphones when I'm editing and things like that. So it's a really functional space, and we put like an epoxy resin down on the flooring and basically painted it out, so it's nice to edit in this room. And yeah, as you can see, roller door, haven't bothered to do anything about it because it's not a problem for me. It gets a little bit warm in summer, but we got the AC in the main lounge room, which is just on the other side of this wall, and that tends to cool it down enough in summertime, so it can get warm on the Gold Coast. But yeah, I just love it here. It's such a great space, and yeah, I enjoy working out of my space. And I want to just share a little bit about why that's really good, but I might just take a seat on the couch and have a chat from there. Well, really is early days in my business, and it's sort of about the second year I'm in business. It's the first year I'm in business on my own. I started out with a business partner, and now I'm running my business solely on my own with a few contractors that I use to do filming and editing and things like that for me. So basically the reason I run out of my garage is because it means that I don't have to put as much pressure on the finances of the business early in its development stages. So where I may need to make a certain amount per year just to survive and to keep the bills paid for the house that we're purchasing, and you know, for everything that goes along with lifestyle that we live here in Australia. But I don't have to worry about a big overhead for a premises for the business, and that's really good. And that's really, I think, for me, early days in the business, and also last year coming into the business on my own and buying out my business partner, that's been really crucial for me not to have a huge financial pressure of having a space. And while I'd love to have a space, and that's the ultimate goal, is that I've got a creative space and I have people editing, and we have a lot more people involved in the process. At the moment, I'm still developing my brand, I'm still developing my creativity, what it is that we do as a business, what it is that we do well, and the things that we can do, but maybe we won't be doing for, you know, the long term. So as I'm still developing that in the business, it's basically a really good way to have a space that's just offset from the rest of the house, but it's a way in which I can manage the finances a little better, and there's not as much financial stress. Now, I want to disclose some information about my business, and basically the business last year turned over $75,000, and basically that was my first full year from January to December in business. Now, that's a really good goal. We hit the goal stretch that we had. We had basically 70,000 goal, and the stretch goal was to exceed that. So we did that, which was amazing. The only issue is it really wasn't enough in the end. After I'd bought some gear and I paid my business partner out to own the business fully myself, it ended up not being enough money, you know, all in all. It's probably expensive in Australia to live. I'm not sure what it's like where you are. Maybe that would be a really great, you know, sort of first full-time year for you if that was your situation. But for me, it just was a little bit short of what we needed. So that was why last year I did have a plan to move into a bigger space and somewhere that was away from the house, and especially because my son is now 8.5 months old and he arrived. And that was obviously a big change, having him in the home as well. But it's been awesome to be around in his early development stage anyway, and it hasn't put that much pressure on me and the business. My wife's been doing incredible. So basically what I believed was that we would be out by the end of last year in our own premises, but it just didn't work out that way. And so I'm really happy in the space that I'm in. I'm not proud, or I'm not worried about it. I know that it's an eventual thing that the business will be able to pick up and do, and for now it's just a functional space. And I guess I want to encourage you guys to think about creating a functional space
within wherever you might be, wherever you're at with your creativity. If you're just starting out with cameras, if you've been doing it for a while, if you're wanting to start a business or get into doing it as a hobby and getting some money on the side, I would set up a space within your house and an area where it's just no distractions. You can just focus on the creativity and developing your style creatively. I had a friend of mine come, Gareth McGuigan Visuals. You can check him out. I'll link below to his Instagram. He came over to my sort of garage studio and he was just raving about it. He loved it. And he went home after that, and he has a double garage. I've only got a single garage here, but he has a double garage. So he went home after coming and seeing my space here, and he set up the second half of his double garage as his own space. Now, he's an amazing photographer, and he'd been working out of his lounge room with the whole family there. And he just said it was so good to set up a separate space, a separate area where he could just go out through a door and close the door behind and just work on his stuff, away from the kids, away from the house. You know, when they went to bed, he would go and he would have his own space there. And he just said it was so beneficial for him once he had that set up. So I encourage you as well to think about doing that, especially if you've got kids or a wife, or you're in a home with your parents, maybe your family. Just having that space where you can go create. You know, you can launch a whole business out of your garage, and it's awesome as well. Not only that, I've got this space here, and for tax purposes as well, I write off as portion of my household as, you know, business is operating out of it, so I can write off some of the tax that goes along with running a business, which can get expensive as a business goes. And when you have a premises and stuff, there's obviously all these additional costs that are involved with that. So I've kept my gear pretty lean and pretty small at the moment. I haven't got too much storage. I've just got a 3-point light kit, and I've got some tripods, you know, a number of tripods, some sliders and things. So I've got it all kind of set up and stored really well in this space, so it doesn't get too cluttered, although that is something that I'm dealing with, is a little bit of clutter. As you can see, some of the shots, there's just things, you know, a few things here and there that could be better, and when we do have a space, it will be better. But that's kind of what I've got set up at the moment. So it's really functional, it's really good. I love my creative reference monitors and my dual screens. All that works really well. I've got a hinge dock for my computer that docks the laptop and makes it really functional for anything I'm doing on bigger editing jobs, and just having a nice workflow for email and editing at the same time and things like that. So that's really cool as well. But yeah, just encourage you guys to don't worry and be humble about your beginnings. Don't worry about having all the stuff, you know, straight away. Whatever you've got, start with what you've got. You know, if you've got an iPhone to shoot with, start with that. If you've got a 80D or a DSLR, a Rebel, Canon, start with that. If you've got just a small point shoot and it can record, you know, 720p or 1080p video, start with that. Just start with what you've got and begin to create and begin to dream and begin to believe in the fact that there's creativity inside you. So hopefully you guys get a little insight into my morning today, and hopefully you enjoyed this little talk about my garage and the space that I create and the space that I've built my business running out of this space. And where I'm sitting now, just before I go, is where my clients come, and you know, I don't mind that they you know, are paying a corporate price for my work, and then they come and sit in my garage, because the product that I believe I'm producing is worthy of their time, worthy of their money. So it's doing great for their businesses, and it's really helping them to grow. So I don't have any problem with inviting clients over. One of our highest paying jobs that we've done to date, a really good friend of mine now from that company, he enjoys coming and just chilling out on this, it's a futon, it's a fold out bed. So he enjoys coming over and just chilling, and he's been over quite a few times. But I've probably got to catch up with him soon. I haven't caught up with him for a while since we've been away. But yeah, he just likes coming and hanging out here, and it's a really functional space for that. So I also do some music in here and record stuff in here, and the sound's pretty decent. It's not too echoey. So yeah, I've recorded some tracks and some things for friends and stuff in here as well. So that's been cool as well. But yeah, just encourage you guys to create that space, create that area where it's your zone, wherever you might be. If you've just got a bedroom with 4 walls, create an area in the bedroom where you can just go and be creative, and it's just a space where you can just detach from everything and think creatively and be creative. Alright, you guys, thanks so much as well to my new subscribers. Just before I go, I put out a giveaway when I hit 500. I'm already at 375 subscribers. So there's 125 more opportunities for you to subscribe, and I'll be giving away a 1.8 50mm Canon lens. The Nifty 50, I'm trying to find the old Nifty 50, not the STM lens, because I love the old Nifty 50. I did a lot of my early corporate work on it, so I'm trying to find one of those to purchase so that I can send that out to you, and I'm going to randomly choose one of my first 500 subscribers to give that away to, and then I'll be announcing after that a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So keep a watch out for that, you guys. Hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.